What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This week, I thought we would take a moment and go back and look at those possible ocelot jungles that I hatched out last year, what I'm calling Posscelots, and see how they've been aging. Let's take a look at how they're doing. Before we do that, I realized that I did not show you one final edition that I picked up at the Sacramento show amidst all of my shenanigans. And if you can see here, you can see that it's very tiny. So I'm going to do my best to get it in frame for you. But this little one just molted the other day, and I've got a new enclosure for it to upgrade into. So I figured y'all could watch with me as we upgrade this little but beautiful orchid mantis. Now this is second instar, which is a fancy word for saying it's on its second sort of life stage. And they're completely harmless. As adults, this species is arguably one of the most beautiful. They have camouflage resembling that of a white and pink orchid. Get focus here. There we go. And they are very curious, cute little boogers. They love flies. These guys do really well on flying insects like fruit flies, etc. This animal as an adult will end up around a couple inches long at most. There are some that get much bigger, some that stay smaller. Many of you might not know this, but I used to keep praying mantis before I really got deep into the hobby sort of stuff. So towards the end of my college years, I was keeping a lot of different praying mantis species. Never kept an orchid though. I was always too nervous that they're a little more high maintenance, they're harder to keep. But I've since learned a lot more about keeping them and have great help from other keepers. So this is going to be our upgrade cup. It's going to be really simple. I've just poked some ventilation holes in there, Gorilla glued a little strip of paper towel on the sides for some extra texture and for moisture retention, and then did the same thing with the lid. The lid does have a little hole punched in it, so some air can travel through a little bit there, but essentially no flies or anything can get out. And the way we're gonna keep this nice and humid is just squirt a little bit of water onto the side paper. And then this little one has some moisture in its environment. Let's see if she wants to hang out on this leaf over here. I'm calling it a she because it's white and pink, but I genuinely have no idea of the gender yet. And it's been about 48 hours since it molted, so I want to see if it's hungry at all too. Maybe we can feed it on camera. You just like hanging out on my finger, don't you? Come on. There we go. Hey now, hey now. Here, go on the lid. On your feet pinched. There. Now we have our newly rehomed orchid mantis. Let's see if we can't put some fruit flies in there and catch a feed. All right. We have mantid, we have fruit flies. Let's do this. Go up on there. Yep. Okay. Where did that fruit fly go? I'm already out. Aha. All right, there's one in there. Let's see if we can't tap another. Oop, a few went in there. No! All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna contain the flies. Let's see if we can't catch a predation on film. we have visual. Bam! There we go. Y'all see that? Just grabs it, starts eating it alive. So cool. And the more this little one eats, the more its little abdomen will fill up. And eventually it'll go into another molt, probably in a few weeks. Pretty neat. And this little beautiful animal is going to live amongst the beautiful plants in my wife's plant cabinet. It's going to be a nice little orchid decoration in the plant cabinet. And that way Barnaby can't mess with her, or him, whatever gender it ends up being. But it's kind of a nice scenic area for a mantis to feel secure, even though it's just in a little cup. Got one of these for an eventual upgrade that's already previously been perforated and ready to go with some ventilation. So in a few more molts, we'll be upgrading that, and I'll bring you along when we do that. We'll put some cool plants in there and make it kind of white and pink, hopefully, and try and complement that animal at that size. But anyway, enough of the mantis. You guys probably aren't bug people. Let's look at those Posscelots. Okay, this is one of the very few boys that came out of the two clutches. This guy is phenomenal. He's got amazing ocelots, great color. He was the first one to kind of clue me in, like, okay, there's more going on. He doesn't really have much in the way of stripes, but his ocelots are just mind-blowing, just pretty wild. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. This guy's great. He's an exceptional example. Good color, lots of tipping all the way up. And yeah, can't wait to see what this project develops into. But here's the first example of one of those possible ocelots, aka the Posscelots. Little stud right here. Here is another of the rare males who also has great ocelots. You can tell his tipping stays much lower, doesn't go up the midline there. Cleaner blacks, sort of a darker tone of yellow on the dorsal, but otherwise, we got a runner. Not too shabby looking, good looking dude. Yeah, should make for a nice breeder down the line. Here we go. Wanted to show off the nice bars that he has on his neck there. Instead of ocelot in some areas, it's got those nice solid bars that line up, and getting to step closer towards having lateral stripes there. So he's a nice sort of like intermediate of the ocelots and the sort of side striping. So just another rare male for the project to have. So pretty cool. Now, believe it or not, this is a third male, and he is not in shed. He's just more of like an ivory-ish color for now anyway. There's some yellow in the tipping here and fabulous ocelots. Obviously, he is a great example of an individual with some striping. Ooh, buddy, easy now. I want to look at you. And yeah, so he's got good striping, nice blacks on top with some tipping coming up, but not a ton. And yeah, interesting color too. There you go, bud. More of like an ivory off white sort of color, but nice neck lateral striping as we see here. Great ocelots, good dorsal striping, and again, just one of the few boys for this project. So really excited to see what he does in the future and how he ages. Try this again. This one here is one of my favorites. She's got really rich coloration, both yellow and black. Very high ocelot count. Really cool head stamp. think she will lend nicely to the Ocelot or Posscelot project. Look at that, that's really cool. Some dorsal striping, but not really. She's just got really low tipping, really nice clean black, great Ocelot markings. Some neck striping there, really like that. And of course, to figure things out, we're keeping all of them. So where'd you go? Where'd you go? Come on now, I want to see you. There you are. So she will, like the rest of them, be staying, and we'll get to watch her grow and change and see how she ages. This one's a little feisty. I like her because she's got some dorsal striping, some bold blacks, and a lot of her side laterals are more of the sidebars and less of the ocelots. So when I was initially pairing the parents, I was hoping to make striped jungles and start working on connecting the sidebars to connect them eventually in their own lateral stripe. And as you can see, this sort of second step in some of them does, like, she would untie herself, puts them in a line a little bit better. You can see, there we go, it kind of lines them up. So she doesn't have so much ocelots, but what she does have are those nice bars. It's like little checkers, kind of want to connect. So I think she will lend nicely to that end of the project. We'll see over time. This girl here is fabulous. She has rich blacks, rich yellows. Her side markings are nice and bold. She has good dorsal striping, neck striping, everything's in bars. I think she might be the best example of one that will get us closest to the lateral striping here. She does have some ocelots, but they're very solid and very minimal spots. So I think she's probably like the lowest expression carrying all of that, but with pretty fair amount of dorsal striping, good color, and the connected sidebars that I really like there. So she's fabulous, getting real bright with age. Again, these are all siblings, so it's really cool to see the natural variation among each one. You love. Can't see it when you're over here. Oh, hello. All right, this girl just might be one of my favorites. She has striping for days, great rich color, low tipping, which tipping isn't a problem for me, but when you have rich black, you really get to see it. She's got great bars behind the neck, but awesome ocelots through. She's like a really great example of like just a nice midway between some good striping and some good ocelots. She's a little darker in the yellow department, but it's coming in still. You know, they're only a little over a year old, so we'll see how they go. But, woo, getting big. You can see all those neck stripes starting to line up. The goal, like I've been saying, is to create perfectly tri-striped, pure jungle carpets. So one nice yellow stripe down the back, and one nice yellow stripe down each of the flanks. Some good clean blacks in there, some nice yellows, and it'll probably take me a few generations, but we're getting there. And I love her like sort of DNA double helix head stamp. Pretty cool. Good looking snake. So that's about half of the 2 clutches of those possible ocelots, what I'm sort of calling Posscelots from the 2024 season. I repeated one of the pairings this past season because one of them did go, one of them didn't. The one that did take was a small 8 or 9 egg clutch, and only about 4 babies made it. So we got some varying degree of ocelots in there. There's 2 animals that I want to show you. One that'll sort of show you that the second go around, same pairing repeating, we got some of the same results. And then another one that I want to show you, unfortunately she's deep in shed, but she's a great example of what I was sort of hoping for as that intermediate step to a tri-stripe. So she will be staying with me. Unfortunately she's in shed, but you'll get to see her in the future. So let's take a look. So this is one of the girls from this year's clutch. And you can see we got more of those ocelot markings. She's got a lot of tipping. We did get some of the side like little dashes or the bow tie marks. A little sad frowny face on the head stamp. But really nice to see that we've more or less got consistent results with the year prior in terms of phenotype. So the ocelots weren't just like a one-off sort of fluke. We got quite a few on this one baby right here. The others didn't get quite a bunch, but then again, when you only have 4 for the sample size, chances are it's going to be sort of mid to low expression at best. So nice to see that the traits are carrying on a second time around. She will probably be a nice animal for either end of the project, so we'll see. She'll stay for a while until I figure out how that all shakes out in a few years. But the next animal I wanted to show you is unfortunately again in shed, but totally different. So as you can see, even shed, but all those side flank markings just line up so nicely. Perfect little hash marks. Some little dorsal donuts there, which is kind of fun, but no ocelots, but the portholes are all sort of like blending together and wanting to stripe out, which is again great for my tri-stripe project. And her being a female, very happy to see how she grows and ages. She's a little feisty pants, which is great. She's a good eater, so we'll see how she does. Unfortunately, she's in shed for today's video, so we'll have to get you another update in the future. But second year, same parents, sort of the same results. Ouchies. She's grumpy. So it's really reassuring to see that we got more of the same results replicating from the same pair second year, albeit fewer animals, sort of kind of still seeing that it's doing the same thing. So it's not just a one-off fluke. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the sort of ocelot type phenotype we've seen pop up in multiple different lines and lineages within jungles and jags and jungle jags, and I'm not even sure how many different ones there are. I wanted to remind you that carpet pythons are one of the most phenotypically plastic species of python or snake out there, meaning highly variable. Their exterior look changes very quickly from generation to generation in response to environmental pressures, if any. They're very adaptable, and basically their paint job will do what it needs to do in order for them to survive. So we get a lot of different natural looks in the wild, which makes for high variation. And then when you throw a mutation like zebra that is already variable in the mix, you're basically compounding the variation. So I want to say all this because I've got an unrelated clutch that threw some zebras. In fact, the clutch that was partially parthenogenic, a couple of the zebras came out with some ocelot type markings. So I figured we'd take a look at those as well. So this is a male zebra jungle, unrelated to the family that is throwing the possible ocelots. And as you can see, we got quite a few of his own here. Gotta say, it's not the only time I've seen ocelots and zebras. I've seen plenty of people with proven lines of ocelot zebras, and folks who just kind of get them on a fluke whim every time they breed. Once in a while, there'll just be a few in there. It'll be nice to see if this animal, in the future, if he breeds and we get, ocelots out of his breedings down the line, in which case, it'd be a nice blend in with the Posscelot project, which maybe by then it will be affirmed as an ocelot project. But it'll be neat to mix some of this in there and get some cool ocelot zebras should everything go as it looks to be going. And there is a male sibling to this boy here who is in shed. This guy's going into shed too, you can tell by his head, that I am not keeping, who will be available at some point, who too has some ocelot type markings. So keep an eye out for him. Be posting him up once he's shed and looking pretty for photographs. But yeah, just wanted to show you another example of how ocelots seem to pop up in jungles kind of regularly. And just for fun, since you've made it this far into the video, I figured I'd show you a really pretty nice high yellow zebra that I produced from, again, a different pairing that has a few ocelot markings somewhere in there. Nothing too crazy, but you can see it. can see there's a lot of natural variation to the zebra mutation. You get circles, you get little spots, you get donuts, you get weird things. Doesn't necessarily make it an ocelot, but if you do some test breeding, breed babies back together, back to parents, siblings to parents, whatever, sibling to sibling, and you get more results that show some natural variation, but a good degree of ocelots, and it's reproducible multiple times over, and then you can throw something else in there and get some ocelot variation as well. Then you can safely say you have an ocelot line of jungles. So this girl is doing her best to be uncomfortable on camera, but she looks good doing it at least. Hi. And there you have it, the Posscelot update. For those of you who aren't familiar, that's what I'm calling them, Posscelots. Until years down the line when I prove them out, and if I prove them out to be an actual heritable line of ocelot jungles, then they'll upgrade to ocelots. But for now, if you hear me use the term Posscelots, that's what we're talking about. It's just fun to say. But it also conveys that I'm aware that I haven't done the work to test breed and prove it out and confirm it yet. So it's sort of like the interim name for now. It could be nothing, it could be something. I guess we'll find out, right? That's the fun part. It's going to take some years, some time to raise those up and do some more test breeding, but I have no plans on going anywhere. So thanks for sticking it out with me this long. I appreciate it if you've watched all the way through. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go give my sponsor some love, Reptile Husbandry Designs. Use code RR10 at checkout to get you 10% off any 3D printed accessories, perching, water bowl holders, stuff like that for your animals, enrichment items. Go check them out, Reptile Husbandry Designs. If you're doing any shipping this winter before the weather closes us out, go over to my folks over at Reptiles Express, get all the shipping supplies, temperature kits, labels, everything you need there. One-stop shop. The more you spend as far as labels go, the better your discount gets. So the more you spend, the more money you save. And I'm going to get you started on your savings journey. Use code Riley50 to get you 50% off up to 10 labels per customer. So that's going to save you a bunch of money. Going to get you saving money right off the rip. And with the money you save, I would really love it if you would go over to USARK in USARK, Florida and sign up and become a member if you aren't already a member. Now, why do you ask? Great question. USARK is the only lobbying body of people that go and deal with nationwide state level issues that deal with undue or unjust or unscientific legislation aimed at curbing our ability to keep and work with animals and reptiles. So they are the fighting force for the reptile hobby. They support us. The least that we can do is support them. So if you aren't already a member, please go join up. Membership really matters. There's strength in numbers for sure. And speaking of support, if you like what we got going on here, want to support the growth of this channel and this population of animals as I'm stepping into full-time reptile breeding hood, got a Patreon, just Riley Jimison on Patreon, a wonderful Discord community. Patrons get early access to babies, which is why things don't even make it to the website half the time. We're snatching them up. They get discounts on merch, all sorts of cool stuff like that, access to the Discord, and it's a growing community. It's a wonderful family, and I look forward to seeing you there. So come join. And once again, that's just Riley Jimison on Patreon. And for all the available animals and babies that I have listed, including geckos, which are now being listed up on the website, you can go to rileysreptiles.com, check it all out. I'm also listing stuff on Morph Market because the more eyes, the better. But there you go. There you have it. That's everything that's up right now. Looking forward to the Scottsdale show coming up November 1st and 2nd for the All-American Plant and Reptile Expo. So if you're coming out for that, let me know. I can bring some babies for you, save you on shipping. And on that note, I'm going to get on out of here. That water's clean. Snake's clean. Catch you later. Bye.